So after many months of messing around with this Anycubic Chiron or printer, and like I said, it'll do stuff like this. Look at them all. Had 10 of them on there because I had a nice big bed to do them on, and I didn't even finish it. It'll print and print and print, and that's what happened with this one. It was printing, and it was like here, and it just, that was it. Stopped. And you can hit the screen, you can do anything you want. There was no recovering it, there was no reprinting it, there was no, you know, like continuing the print, there's no nothing. It's just, everything's frozen. This thing here, got to there, and that's it. You know, like, there's just a big hunk of plastic now that's just useless. I thought it was going to be awesome because it's like 400 by 400 by 480, I think it was, really high. Thought it was going to be awesome, and I'm telling you, I fought and fought and fought to get this thing going. Maybe I just got a dud, I don't know. But I yet to have a successful print. The closest thing that I had to a successful print, it still didn't look great. Maybe its first original print. If I'm doing something small, before it has a chance to screw up, it'll print. I can't do large prints. It can't handle doing large prints. If it goes too high, it stops. If it goes too long, it stops. I'm really disappointed in this thing. You know, it had some great ideas. It has this pretty sticky bed. It comes with this tip up here, right, that you put on, and it goes around and it levels the whole bed like 16 different places. Which I thought, okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's another thing I noticed too. It starts running, and it runs for a while before it even gets any filament out. So I always have to do either a skirt or a surrounding, because otherwise it doesn't get anything in the first round. And finally, as you can see, nice and smooth. It's working really well. A little bit of a ripple there in the back, not bad though. I think it's just the way that the light's shining on it. It's actually, I think more of that, it's just a shadow, right? It is, it's just shadow. So like, it's super smooth. Right, you can see, I don't know if I can get this on the printer, but even you can see that little lip. This is to hold a sign for cases that I'm making for a vape store, and it's beautiful. It's coming out really, really well, and it's, as you can see, it's printing at a good speed, and you wouldn't believe what I had to go through to finally get this printer working like this. It was a battle, but I definitely have to give the guys from Anycubic a thumbs up, because they're really helpful. Even though, you know, from where I am here in Canada, Ontario, it's a bit of a distance from where these guys are, and the time differences and everything too. But I went through so many problems where, with inconsistency of extrusion, the biggest problem was it would just stop printing. It would get to, say, not even half of this, and then it would just say finished and done. Or it would just stop, and everything on the screen would be frozen. You couldn't even do anything, right? So the guys from Anycubic sent me new connections. They sent me new wire, and a few other things. We went and troubleshooted many different things, and finally I got it printing. But then that still wasn't the end, because with Cura, when I put the Anycubic printer in Cura to slice and make my models, it still was not good, right? Like, if I was to print out a benchy, like a little boat test, it would be horrible, right? So thanks to another guy online. I can't remember his name now, right? But he said to quickly, easily fix that. Yeah, actually pick, I think it was the Creality 10S1 Pro or something like that. But anyway, if you were just to look that up, how to fix the Chiron printing with Cura, I'm sure you'll have it pop up, and that solved a whole pile of issues. Now then it started printing actually really well, but still not quite as good as I figured it should be. And the final touch is I actually use Perusa slicer, the Perusa slicer with the Creality printer G-code or setup, right? And now it's just perfect. Between all the help I got from the guys from Anycubic and the right program and the right setup, it is now working great and flawlessly every time. I think I've had one failure, right, and that's it. And you can see it actually down here. There it is, right? And I don't know what happened. Something got caught or something like that, and it failed, right? And that sucked because you can see here, this has been going, you can see there, the time has been going for 24 hours and 30 minutes, and we're still at 66% because this back part here is going to be like 8 inches high. It's going to be way up here, right? Because the bolt's assigned. So, yeah, to go 24 hours and 30 minutes flawlessly like that, fantastic. I am super happy with the Chiron printer now, because I wanted a printer that was going to give me this like crazy size, right? Like just awesome. You know, and the other thing I think that also does help really, I do have this Sunlu little heated spool holder, which actually works fairly well for how it comes out. It's not too bad, you know, like it doesn't, there's no real force or anything. I could probably put this on a little pedestal just to make it so that it's a little more even coming out and going into the extruder, right? But it seems to not have any problems. And I think with the material being somewhat heated and also dry, big, thick, dry, right, makes a huge difference in this final quality, and also making sure that it makes it, that it gets to go that long without having an issue, right? So thumbs up, awesome setup. And there's no other upgrades on this. There really isn't anything available for upgrades for this. The one thing I did do is this you can see just floats here now, right? And that made a huge difference. When it had this kind of like a alligator thing or whatever they came across, or a mechanical plastic holder, and it looked great and everything, but it would put strain on the wires here. And now, because it's just floating free, right, it doesn't do that. It doesn't have that problem anymore, right? So I don't know, I got to figure out maybe a little bit better of a system. And I saw that also in another video, another guy that has Chiron, and that made a difference for him. So I have been trying to watch all the other videos, right, to kind of make that difference, and that was one of them. Plus, that's a whole new cable that Anycubic sent to me, which now I'm not having any problems anymore, right? As far as for it just freezing and stopping, that was the big issue. I was really disappointed. I thought that this system was at first a failure, right? But not anymore. It's working really well. These are going to be displays. Well, actually, I'll show you the display. So there's the display. So as you can see, there's your different cases, different colors, right? And this is for the X Cross 2, right? X Cross 2 case with lids, right? And here shows off like the lids, right? The push part and the body, right? And of course, see that. Breathe with ease, not pocket lint. And that was this whole thing was printed on the Anycubic Chiron. Nice surface, nice and shiny. It looks perfect. Very happy. Okay, so just to show a little bit of what we do here and what I'm doing here with Prusa Slicer. Now, I was mentioning, right, for the Anycubic Chiron, which you can probably still hear that printing in the background there. You know, that you don't use the Chiron printing parameters. You use, so you can see up here, the Creality CR10 S4. That's what I'm using, right? And that gives me the same, you know, well, I went in and I changed the bed size so that it matches. Now, my Anycubic works great. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did change the name of the channel from Basic Painter to Basic Creator, because you know what? I started really realizing that it's not just about painting really anymore. Like when I first started the channel, I was just painting stuff, and I've been doing that for many years, and painted a lot of little minis, right? And I still have ones to paint yet, and I do have Frosthaven coming, so definitely you can look forward to seeing some painting done, you know, with Frosthaven, right? But I'm a creator more than just a painter, right? I create, you know, when it comes to painting, you know, then it's partially creating. I didn't make the mini, but I create the image of the, you know, whatever that thing's going to look like after I'm done painting it. I've done all this stuff with polystyrene and making extra accessories and stuff for board games, right? You know, but then I've also made gaming tables, you know, for board games. And I originally started getting into printing, right, for, you know, board games, right, to make my own minis and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make minis, and I just got sucked in. Now I'm making all kinds of things, right, and it's a lot of fun, right? So I think the name Basic Creator makes more sense because I'm creating anything, you know, tables, furniture. I built the house that I live in here, right? Wall to wall, everything that's in it, right? So I really am more of a creator than just a painter. I did paint all the walls in here. My edging's actually pretty good. So going forward, being the basic creator, because, you know, I know there's some pros out there that do, say, one particular thing that they create, and they do it all the time, and they're pros, and they're in whatever they do is amazing. And I'm not saying I'm amazing, but I think that if I'm just a basic guy doing creations that turn out good, that people like, then there's probably a lot of other people out there that are really no different and should be able to do the same. So if I share that information with you, and, you know, it's something that you think that you can do, and it gives you some ideas, and you're able to do those things yourself, and whatever I've done has helped you along the way, then hey, that's what it's all about really anyway, right? You know, so going forward, I'll be creating, painting, building. It could be anything. Just as long as you guys still like what I do, I'll just keep doing it. So until next time, guys, be cool, and, you know, we'll go over some more creation. We'll see you then.